The Pink Haven Coalition, formed 2 years ago to ensure the survival of Two Spirit, trans, and gender expansive people in a more extreme
We are committed to being a deliberately diverse and fully inclusive community of adults, youth, and children. Together, we explore our connection to each other, to the sacred, and to all life. And we strive to bring our values alive in this community and beyond. If you're a visitor here today, we are so glad that you found us. We welcome you and thank you for spending some time with us, and we hope you will return again soon. Every service is a little different, our ministers unique, and our music ever-changing. I do have an additional service announcement today for the Committee on Shared Ministry, COSM. So in 2024, the Board of Directors established COSM, and the committee began work in July of 2024. The board charged the committee to help foster the well-being of the congregation and ensure that the mission of the congregation is being met, so there is fidelity in our principles and values of Unitarian Universalism. The committee serves as a resource to the board. To fulfill this charge, the committee members plan that at least one of them will be available after workshop each Sunday in the Great Hall for an open dialogue with anyone interested in engaging with them. Each of them will also be wearing badges that identify them as members of the committee and welcome any interactions with members and friends whenever available. They have begun holding conversations with interested groups in the congregation. As they identify themes that seem important to their charge, they will prepare summaries of the information which do not identify any sources. They plan to use the information for more structured surveys in the future. So this morning, COSM members Rita Hudson and Hyatt Bain, I don't know if you want to raise your hands. And actually, it's a good opportunity for anybody on COSM, if you're here today. I think I saw a couple to also present themselves. They'll be here today in the back corner of the Great Hall near the AV booth until as late as 11:30 a.m. to hold space for a listening corner. If you have any thoughts on shared ministry, the congregation's end statements, or anything that pertains to the well-being of the congregation and its mission, we welcome you to stop by and share as anonymously as you wish. They look forward to hearing from you through a variety of channels moving forward, and you'll be able to find out more information in the newsletter. So we hope that you find something here today that touches your mind and your heart. Wherever you may arrive in your faith journey, know that you are always welcome here today. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to 2026. My name is Sarah Salto and I am an elder white woman. I have shoulder-length white hair. I'm wearing a bright pink flowery jacket. I wear glasses, I use she, her pronouns, and I have developed a passion for congregational safety. Over the past several months, a great group of your friends at First UU have joined with me to help build what's called a safer congregation. You may have noticed large emergency response numbers on exterior doors. You may have seen a handicap exit sign on door number 2. And you will probably have seen more visible fire extinguishers around the building. There will be more. One group has designed and outfitted new first aid trauma kits for us, and they're also working on evacuation routes that will be posted throughout the building. We've also reserved some wall space for an AED. We are now offering 3 free training sessions. You may have seen the dates on the pre-service slides. You can register for this first session, which is awareness and de-escalation, via a newsletter link or via this QR code, which is now posted around the building. Gotta love the QR codes. Safer Congregations is designed to educate and empower the entire congregation in issues of awareness, of de-escalation, and response should any kind of an emergent situation occur here. Accidents happen. People do sometimes get hurt, and being prepared is a very good idea. We, Safer Congregations, is here to help. And if you are interested in helping also, just let us know. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Anna Tulu, and I serve as one of your assistant ministers here at First UU. I use both she and they pronouns, and I am a middle-aged white woman with pale skin and freckles, blue eyes, long hair, and today I'm wearing brown pants, a cream-colored sweater, and a stole with the image of a many-colored tree in the style of stained glass. I am leading worship today alongside our Director of Lifespan Faith Formation, Leanne Luskin, who is wearing fabulous shoes. And we are joined in worship by the youth singers. We also have song leaders, Bari Ramsey, Hayat Bain, Joanna Walker, and in the AV booth, we have Eric Glaspin, Jeremy Weiland, and our new AV director, Cody Gates. Welcome. If there is anything that you need or want to talk about, and I know there is a lot going on in people's lives right now, Mike Kane, who is from our lay pastoral care team, and thank you, Mike, for standing up, is going to be available after worship in the small conference room. Is that right? Small conference room, which is right across from the front desk out here. Now, it is our custom to welcome newcomers every Sunday by passing the mic, and our Director of Music and Worship, Jamie Kilpatrick, is our Minister of the Mic. So if you would like to introduce yourself and let us know where you are coming from, if you're comfortable doing so, let us know, and Jamie will bring the mic to you. Tori.
Welcome back. Hi, my name is Tori Vire. I use she, her pronouns. I am a 30-year-old woman. I am wearing a purple shirt with black jeans. My hair is brown. I live in the Richmond area. I'm actually about to move to Chester.
Good to have you back.
Welcome back, Tori.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Chris, and this is my wife, Amanda, and my daughter, Sophia. We live in Midlothian, and we're very happy to be here.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Angel Wood. I use she, her pronouns. I am 28 years old and from Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, excited to be here today.
I'm Jerry Dingus, 28-year-old guy, he, him pronouns. I grew up Unitarian, went to the Newport News Church where my mom was the DRE there. My sister, minister of UU Church of Huntsville. Moved to Richmond like 4 years ago and have finally decided to get back into going to church, and I'm happy to be here.
Hello, my name is Hunter Halder. I'm from Chester, Virginia. I went to school at Benedictine over here in Richmond. And I moved to Lisbon, Portugal. I came back here 5 years ago to promote a meeting for a food rescue operation that I invented in Portugal. And I'm on the table outside as you come by. Please take a flyer, and you can participate in it if you like. We started it in 2000, got up and running, made the news, and the pandemic shut us down. So I'm back to try again. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your work. Did I clear that side? Somewhere over here, the sun was blinding me.
Hi, I'm Jen Plumley, 44-year-old female, she, her pronouns. First time here. I grew up going to Three Chop Presbyterian and been away from a church setting since then, so looking forward to being back here today. Thanks.
Hey there, I'm Casey Witten-Amadon. I am here in Petersburg to help take care of my sister. I'm taking a break as a lawyer to try to write a novel, and I'm a consistent UU goer, and I just looked you guys up online.
Hi, my name is Danielle. I am a 26-year-old, she, her pronouns, and I'm here with my husband. We're just looking to try something new.
And I'm Jax, the husband. He, him pronouns. I'm also 26 years old, and yeah, we're both just looking for community, and we found you guys.
Good morning. My name is Volkan Aytar. First name means volcano, but it's like Volkan. And that does mean volcano. Not inspired after Mr. Spock, so I'm not from Vulcan. Although I'm a trekker. I was raised Muslim, and technically I'm an atheist, but became members of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fredericksburg. And we moved here to Richmond. I'm a VCU professor. We came once, maybe 2 years ago, I think, and now hoping to come back. Thank you.
I'm Heather. I'm here with one of my children, just looking for some community. We've been a couple times and really love the feeling here and how friendly everyone is. So.
Yay! More. Yes. Hi, my name is Ashley McHenry. I use she, they pronouns. I live just like right up the street in the museum district, and I've come here a few times with my girlfriend, but we're finally brave enough to introduce ourselves. So glad to be here.
Deirdre Bouquet, she, her pronouns. Yeah, Ashley pretty much covered it all. Live in Henrico. First time going back to church in like 15 years probably.
That was amazing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year. I am Leanne Luskin. I use she, her pronouns. I serve as your Director of Lifespan Faith Formation. I am a white woman. I am 46. I have reddish, blondish hair pulled back today. I'm wearing a light blue top and a black and white keffiyeh scarf to show my love for the people of Palestine. This is the point where we get to greet each other. So if you are joining us virtually, please feel free to get active in the chat and say hi to each other. And if you're here in person, here's your chance to say hello.
I invite you to place a bookmark in your conversation. And we can continue, and I hope we will continue. We're beginning a little differently this morning. A lot of things today are going to be a little different. Bear with us. Because I couldn't not start with a pastoral prayer. Utah Phillips says that we should love the country always and love the government when it deserves it. And this morning I am angry. I mean, I'm over the moon with joy to be here with all of you. And I am angry. And I am grieving. And there's some fear in there. And I pray that we can remember that we are responsible even when it is not us taking these actions. We are responsible for doing what we can, for speaking up ourselves, for naming wrong action without resorting to hate, without resorting to dehumanizing other people. I can be very angry about the things that my government is doing and still love my country. That is true of a lot of places. And I ask that we make space for all of the feelings that we are bringing this morning, and that we extend grace to ourselves and one another. Because there are people and systems that would have us turn against one another, that want us to turn to hate, that want us to despair. And this morning, we are going to push against that. When everything feels like too much, when the injustices are too great, the violence too abhorrent, that is not when we say, well, the other person did this first. Is there a medical person who is available to go into the hallway right now? Thank you. Let us hold a moment of prayer and reflection to acknowledge what is happening in the world and within ourselves. May we remember that our thoughts and our feelings are not jealous. We can experience and understand and feel many things at once. And now we make room for worship. The things we brought here this morning with us will be here when we leave again. And may they fuel our work this morning, because it is work we are going to do. Our call to worship is from Social Change Now by Deepa Iyer. Our belief in the promise of social change through connections with one another is why we keep trying after feeling disappointment, why we keep returning after grieving, why we keep fighting after resting. It is why we keep building after systems fail, why we keep on loving even when we are experiencing heartbreak. It is why we take actions that embody solidarity, resistance, and hope. It is why we infuse our efforts with joy, passion, affirmation, and healing. We intuitively know that something better is blooming, growing, emerging, and we want to be a part of that momentum, that stream, that journey. May it be so.
Our chalice lighting this morning comes from our own Reverend Anna Tulu. We light our chalice this morning to orient to the values that infuse and inform our actions and choices: justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity, all of which we hold as expressions of love. May our lives be the chalice, our values the wick, our choices the sparks that kindle the flame of beloved community. Would you please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are.
Bari a job he didn't know he had. So this song is a round, and we're so full today, I think it would be really fun to do it as a round for once. So we're gonna sing it all through together in unison one time. And then Bari is gonna go like this. And this half of the room is gonna go first, and you'll be like, come, come, whoever you are. And then he'll be like this. And then that half of the room comes in, right? And we're gonna do it as a round thrice. And I say thrice because the first time you're gonna be like, oh, I'm getting into it. The second time you'll be like, oh, I think I figured it out. The third time, there is a magic and in the harmony of singing together, and it's doing work together that I think is bringing us all here. So that third time that we're singing it as a round, listen across the room for that harmony and that magic.
For those who are concerned, we have help on the way for the person who is having some difficulty in the lobby. Okay. All right. You ready?
All right, friends, today is our multi-generational service, which means a story. Anyone young at heart, anyone who likes to color, who wants to just be closer for the story, is invited to come join us over here on the steps and the colorful mats. Here we go.
And while everyone is moving forward and getting settled, I want to kind of poll everyone. When you think of an activist, when you think of someone who is working for social change, what kind of person do you picture? Or what kind of action? What is the image in your mind? Just call it out. Picketing. Marches. Spreadsheets. Organizing. Singing. I heard something about meetings. Showing up at city council. Oh, yeah, I see you. Peter, Paul, and Mary. Okay. People marching. Letter writing, phone calls, calling senators. Voting. Speaking up. Thank you, Terry. Everyday conversations about what's happening. Mutual aid. Holy cow, y'all. Margie? Working within the system. We've got a few people here who are doing that. Writing letters to the editor, to the newspapers. All right. Direct action. Absolutely. Okay. I'm gonna cap our conversation. Y'all are really good at this. So we're going to read a book now by Deepa Iyer, and we're going to pause because Deepa Iyer has some ideas about the different roles that people can play when it comes to social change. And each time we do a role, I'm going to ask y'all, so listen, do you identify with this role? And we're going to do some brainstorming, okay?
All right. Are we ready? I'll start slow.
Can we get the slides up for the story?
So this is the social change map, which is hard to see from where you are, but it has each of the roles outlined there, and we're going to dig in. This is the children's version of Deepa Iyer's work, We Are the Builders. Welcome to our community day. Ready to find your role to play? Great. Can we have the next slide, please? And then the next one. Brilliant. Thank you. My name is Ramla. I'm your guide. Follow me and stay by my side. So many grown-ups and kids are here. Everyone wants to volunteer. There's plenty to do in our own town. Help new friends, plant trees in the ground. The time is now. Let's all play a part. Listen and learn what moves your heart. We are the builders. We form and forge, construct and fix, improve homes with nails and bricks. See those old desks, tables, and chairs? Good as new with some repairs. Who wants to join the builders?
Who wants to join the builders? Make some noise or raise a hand. All right, now, we heard Deepa Iyer's ideas of what that might involve. What might be some actions that builders are taking towards social change? Making houses accessible. Making houses livable. Habitat for Humanity. Repair economy. Planting a native garden. Creating infrastructure. Accessibility. Coalition building. All right, we're good. So let's do build a ramp. I'm going to go with the accommodation accessibility. AV, got that? This will make sense later, y'all. Stay with us. Okay.
All right. We can go to the next slide, please. We are the caregivers. We comfort, console, soothe, and cheer. Care kits for all, near and dear. Acts of service and words that mend. How can I help, my new friend? Who wants to join the caregivers?
Who wants to join the caregivers? Ooh, hi. I'm not surprised. All right, what actions do caregivers take? Teaching. Listening. Okay, I heard childcare and something about parents. Foster parenting. Lay pastoral care. Nursing. Elder care. Working in shelters. Food banks. Wow, y'all are really good at this. I love it. Okay, let's listen well. We'll go with listen well.
All right. We are the frontline responders. We plan and protect, stay prepared. Storms brewing, but don't be scared. Stock cans of soup, bags of fresh fruits, gather warm coats, gloves, and boots. Who wants to join the frontline responders?
Okay. All right, what kind of actions do frontline responders take? What are some things they might do? Work with Caritas. Cajun Navy? Okay, let's talk later. I heard one over here. Organize. Training. EMT. Distribute coats. Wear a helmet. What'd you say, Steve? Food banks. Prepare for the zombie apocalypse. Yep. Neighborhood Resource Center. Reach out to Hunter. Okay, reach out to Hunter. All right, so let's pass out coats.
All right. We are the disruptors. We declare, demand, demonstrate, call for change. Don't hesitate. Raise our voices, banners, and beats, meet and march out in the streets. Who wants to join the disruptors? I knew it. I knew it.
Surprise, surprise. All right, actions disruptors might take. Flash mobs. Anarchy. Showing up to city council meetings. All right, I heard two at a time. Sit-in. Demonstrations. No kings. Risk. Inflatable. I love you so much. That was inflatable animals. We can talk later. Strike. Demonstrate peace. That's also a disruption sometimes, isn't it? And I heard this direct action earlier. Any others? Play music. Peace walk, yeah. Sit-ins. Boycotts, creating art. Yeah! That was yelling outside of a hotel to wake people up because of ice and get them out. All right. Let's see. March, march, march. I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving right along. We are the experimenters. We scan, invent, and improvise, solve hard problems with fresh eyes. What if these used bottles and rags could become backpacks and bags? Who wants to join the experimenters?
Ooh, I saw some fast hands this time. That was good. All right, what kind of actions might experimenters take? Listen to children. Recycling and upcycling. Circular economy and gift economy, right? Buy nothing events. Yeah, designing new homes for the unhoused. Community fridge. Thrifting. Green energy. Composting and gardening, yeah. Helping stop world hunger. Mobile libraries. Little libraries. Oh, like the little free, yeah. Energy efficient design. Okay, so a lot of like, how can we move the edges here? Let's, I'm like, how do we do buy nothing? Buy nothing, yeah. Just say buy nothing. We're embracing imperfection in a big way today, y'all.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, we are the visionaries. We dream, imagine, and inspire a world we can all admire. Fresh air, clean water, water, safe and free, bright futures. That's what we see. Who wants to join the visionaries?
Nice. All right, actions. What are the visionary actions? Talk to the people in need. Make being a billionaire illegal. I heard one over here. Storytelling. We're going to come back to that one.
Think about the sun to take care of the zombies? To make the zombies burn up.
Okay.
We've got a little bit of a zombie apocalypse theme going on here.
We've got visionaries at work here. Peace dances. Create sustainability. Lay ministry. Radical art. Saying something is not right, this is wrong, we can do better. Painting murals. Taking care of our world. Starting a school. Listening better. All right, let's make some art.
All right, next up, we are the weavers. We stitch, we braid, we intertwine. Common threads link hearts and minds. When people fight or disagree, find what connects you and me. Who wants to join the weavers?
All right, weavers. What are the actions? And just for those of us who are literal-minded, the weaving is a metaphor. So as much as I would love it to be knitting, and maybe there is an expression of it. So what are some of the actions that weavers might take? Interfaith work. Conflict resolution. Civil conversations, mediation. Multicultural work. Listening circles. Reinvention. Find a compromise. That was a good one. Okay. Huh? Paths into community. Thank you, Rick. Advocacy. Rainbow chalice. All right. All right, so weavers,
Find a compromise?
Find a compromise. Yeah, let's go with that.
Next, we are the healers. We renew, restore, and relieve. Tend to those who cry and grieve. Sometimes when the world is too much, we nurture with breath and touch. Who wants to join the healers?
Who wants to join the healers? Yeah. Y'all are seeing there's some overlap here, right? All right, so what are some actions that healers can take? We've said lay ministry and pastoral care. I think that's in there too. Meditation, chant, art, dance, massage, poetry, Reiki, smiling at everyone you meet, and in the back? All right, one more, louder. More Batman movies. All right.
Reverend Anna.
We'll talk later.
Reverend Anna.
Yep.
Charlie says we can close our eyes.
Closing our eyes. Yoga. Sharing the love of God.
Miles says do things that make us happy.
Do things that make us happy. Yes. Throw lily pads at zombies. I like it. Do things that make other people happy. Let's go with meditate. All All right.
Okay, we are the storytellers. We sing, we dance, we create art, bring joy and love heart to heart. Vibrant murals preserve our past, histories cherished at last. Who wants to join the storytellers? Yeah.
All right, storytellers. What do you do? Wow, that was good. Say that one more time. Provide diverse representation in classrooms. Make zombies mad. Teaching through metaphor. Dance. Grow. Write. Read. Content. Guerrilla art. Yes. Researching Black and queer history. Yeah, history is a big one. Documentation.
We've got a suggestion over here to wake up to the princesses.
Wake up to the princesses.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Right?
Why don't we say, tell a story, whether in any way. Now I'm singing Lin-Manuel Miranda in my head. Tell their story. Sorry.
Of the different roles to play, which one feels like you today? You could become a guide like me, show new folks what they can be. We mentor, we advise, we steer, share wisdom, honest and clear. Who would like to be a guide?
Who would like to be a guide?
Yay!
Oh. Can we read that one more time?
Yeah.
It's always when the pages stick.
Of the different roles to play, which one feels like you today? You could become a guide like me, show new folks what they can be. We mentor, we advise, we steer, share wisdom, honest and clear.
Who wants to be a guide? Helping connect people into their, okay. Yeah, I sensed we might need to hear that one a second time. So
I
what
hope
action?
all of our flame volunteers are raising their hands for this one,
Yes.
because you all
Yeah.
are guides.
And our paths people?
Yeah.
All right, what actions? Listen to family stories. Adult literacy. Public school education. Teaching OWL.
Sharing passions, Rob said.
Sharing passions. Become a mentor. All right, let's go with be a mentor.
All right, and we'll close with, now that it's clear what we can each do, we want to hear from all of you. What role would you choose? Who would you be? How will you change your community? Protect the planet. Thank you. Keep the planet clean. Thank you. So while we're compiling, I just think it's helpful to reflect on our community and how many of these roles it takes all of the time on Sunday mornings, making coffee, leading the kids downstairs or up here. I like to think of the builders, like there are people who literally take care of our building so that we have a roof to keep us dry and we have a safe space to meet. It's really lovely to think about all of the different roles, that no one person can show up here and do all of the things and fill all the roles, that there's so many opportunities to step in our community. Yeah. And I love watching all of you find the roles that work for you and new ones that you want to try out and see if it works. So thank you. It takes all of us.
Yeah. All right.
Shall we try? You want to move into?
Well, we're going to, so if people want to stay and color up here, if anyone else wants to come color up here, or if we want to transition back to our seats.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the last part later. Stay tuned.
Our Share the Plate for January, I am very happy to report, is Pink Haven. And to let everyone know about this amazing organization, we have a video that AV is going to share with us. Thank you so much.
The Pink Haven Coalition, formed 2 years ago to ensure the survival of two-spirit, trans, and gender-expansive people in a more extreme environment.
We knew a large, grassroots network of groups and individuals gave us the greatest resilience against fascist attacks, as well as the greatest access to resources, without submitting to the insecurities of the nonprofit world of grant cycles and information overshare. We needed to create a network that was both nimble and effective, with a strong security culture to protect everyone involved. This organizing plan has proven wise, as fascists more easily target forward-facing groups and individuals.
Both the UUA and UUSC have become vital partners in the struggle against trans genocide, as have a number of congregations and individuals around the United States. As Unitarians came together during the height of World War II to support people fleeing Nazi persecution, we see the same drive today. Unitarian Universalists have both the historical legacy to be accomplices in the work of trans survival, as well as access to human and financial resources that enable this difficult work to advance.
I have been involved with many organizations over the past 30 plus years, and rarely have I seen one run as effectively, passionately, and with such integrity as this one. Run by impacted people, for impacted people, by listening to those most impacted to get them to a place of safety and hopefully onto a life of self-actualization and success. In this particular time in our country, when so much is in flux, to know that there's an organization doing the work that needs to get done because purely and simply it needs to get done is such a gift, and I continue to treasure the opportunities I have to be a part of it.
The greatest honor for me is being there for our passengers as they share their grief and fear over the hateful conditions that have been imposed on them, and to be a witness to their tears of sadness. But then also, as we help them find hope and ways to greater safety, we give them possibility, then I also get to witness their tears of happiness and of hope. And this is what I want everyone to be able to feel.
I would like to add that gender-affirming care is still legal in the state of Virginia, and yet more and more providers are declining to provide care because of our current administration and the threats to hospitals and organizations. So even in states where care is still legal, people are having to travel to receive the care that they need. So your generous donations to Pink Haven help people access the care that they need, because I think you can understand how dire it is, not only in states where it has been outlawed, but even in states where it's legal. It is not easy or accessible care to get. So there are several ways that you can give, which you will see on the screen there, and your donations are very graciously received. Thank you.
There he is, cool. All right, y'all want to come up? Amelie and Fennec? We got a small kid choir, you know, winter break, germs, people being out of town. So, you can just hold it, you'll be all right. So this song, it's 3 verses, and it's written in a format that's like coupled rhyme and then a line that repeats twice. The line is simply, and I whisper in the moonlight, when will sun return? Do you think you can try that? Go. And I whisper in the moonlight, when will sun return? And it does it again. And I whisper in the moonlight, when will sun return? So if you'll notice the song, the pattern is they'll sing a couple, you know, like a rhyming couple, and then that'll happen twice. If you want to sing with them so that they feel less alone up there, I'm singing with them too. So we'll all sing together. And yay, metaphors, the guy who talked about teaching about metaphors. Yeah, this one's pretty metaphor heavy. The harvest is over, the cold settles in. The nights are getting longer, the chilly winter wind. And I whisper in the moonlight, when will sun return? And I whisper in the moonlight, when will sun return? The animals hibernate, snow may begin. The evergreens glisten near solstice again. And I whisper in the moonlight, when will sun return? And I whisper in the moonlight, when will sun return? I sit here and reflect on the year that has passed. My family and friendships, time goes by so fast. And I whisper in the moonlight, when will sun return? And I whisper in the moonlight, when will sun return? There are school plays, there are presents and parties with friends. There's church and time to ponder, we look deep within. And I whisper in the moonlight, when will peace return? And I whisper in the moonlight, when will light return? Let's sing Whisper in the Moonlight, but when will peace return? And I whisper in the moonlight, when will peace return? And I whisper in the moonlight, when will peace return?
When there are more causes than can be counted, and more tasks than any one of us could possibly do, it can be easy to feel overwhelmed because there is so much to do, I don't know where to begin, or because there is so much to do and I'm trying to do it all and that doesn't work. I don't want to burn out. So I want us to have a period of meditation where find something to tell yourself, whether it is simply acknowledging there is so much to do. But that phrase can sound despairing, it can sound hopeless. It can also be like, there is so much to do, which means there is something I can do. There is something that I can contribute. What is it that you need to say to yourself in this morning, in this moment, this morning, about what your gift is, what you can contribute, and the things that you don't need to take on yourself. We trust all of us to get it all done. No one has to carry it all. Identify for yourself what is one thing that you want to tell yourself this morning. Do you have that? It's okay if you don't. It's okay if you're still wondering. But hold space for that, and when it comes to you, let it sink in. Write it down. Let it sink into your bones. Press it into a pebble and carry it in your pocket. Now, we went over a lot of ways that people can get involved this morning. And now we're going to sing a song that you helped us to write. The tune is If You Are Happy and You Know It. And Jamie's going to help us get started off. AV has been taking notes diligently, and we'll be putting the lyrics on the screen. And we're, again, embracing imperfection this morning. Y'all are so good. That felt good. Now, during our story this morning from Deepa Iyer, we shared a lot of different options on how we as individuals and as communities, because some of our communities perform these roles, right? Our lay pastoral care team, for instance, they are healers. They are working with us. They are listening to people and sitting with them and connecting to care. Okay, so sometimes we have communities or individuals that are performing these different roles, 10 of them, which we just sang examples of, and I'm willing to bet that we could probably come up with some more roles besides those. I think it's really helpful to break down this kind of work, social change, into these smaller roles. Especially when there is overwhelm. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing overwhelm these days. Okay, see a couple. And it helps with that in a couple of different ways. First, for those who don't know how to get started, who don't know where to begin. Breaking it down into these roles can make what seems daunting or inaccessible too big. It suddenly makes it accessible. People often think about social justice or activism, and what we picture in our minds often, although I heard spreadsheets earlier, and you have like my respect for calling that one out, but a lot of times what we are picturing is the disruptors, right? It's the people who are marching and doing direct action and the people with the bullhorn, right? But that's not all there is to it. It is often the disruptors who are the face of the movement, sometimes also the visionaries. They're doing the things that easily become symbolic of the movement itself. So it makes sense that we think of them first. But what we've learned from ecology is that a monoculture is not healthy. Diversity is key to a healthy ecosystem. And so a justice movement or a congregation or our FLAME program, we cannot be all disruptors. That would be a mess. Because it's relational too. Like our disruptors need to be guided by our values and the visionaries, and they need to be cared for. Like these roles are all interacting. So we need healers to help us keep our bodies and spirits well, and we need those people with the spreadsheets to keep us organized, and people providing transportation and packing lunches and handing out water bottles and sunscreen and providing childcare and teaching and creating art and music, answering phones and sending emails, building relationships, maintaining those relationships, reminding us of the shared vision and the guiding principles for what we do, telling stories to get people engaged and help them understand why something matters. The possibilities are vast. And we can look at all of that and be like, it's too much. Or we can look at all of that and be like, that's why my contribution matters. There's a lot to do. I can do part of this. Not all of it. Part of it. Once we realize that we can engage in social change in more ways than just being a disruptor, it offers entryway for those of us who don't see ourselves in that role. Everyone has something to contribute, and we are all needed. And it's good that we aren't all doing the same thing. We can't all work on the same cause. We can't all perform the same role. It's good that we aren't all doing the same thing. Now, the other side of the overwhelm of not knowing where to begin is the overwhelm of trying to do all the things. Okay. Iyer proposed 10 roles for social change. Now, I want you to be honest. How many of you raised your hand for more than one role? Okay, here's the follow-up. How many of you raised your hand for most of the roles? Okay. Yeah, and like the first time I read Deepa Iyer's work, I was like, yeah, I'm that, like all of the roles, absolutely. So many of us will move through many of these roles over time, maybe over the course of the week or over the course of years. And that's normal because we learn new things and we're called in different directions. But to stay in this for the long haul, because it's a long haul, we have to pace ourselves. We have to nurture our bodies and our spirits, as well as the practices and the relationships that sustain us. In her book, Microactivism, How You Can Make a Difference in the World Without a Bullhorn, Omkari Williams shares her, quote, Noah's Ark rule, Limiting yourself to one or at most two areas of focus and engagement can help you to overcome the pull of surface level instant gratification and cultivate the deep work that is required to change inequitable systems and to meaningfully address the challenges that we are facing. One or maybe two. So instead of going an inch deep and a mile wide, spreading yourself thin and burning out, instead, go a mile deep in one or two places in focused ways. That means you have to protect your sacred no. Okay? It doesn't mean that people need to not ask for help, but we respect that the other person is capable of saying no. That's our responsibility. So we know when we say yes and we know when we say no. Now, you don't need to do all the things because you are sacred. And preventing yourself from burning out is a righteous act. We need to be discerning about what we are most deeply called to in this moment. I hope this is helpful. Is this helpful? Okay, good. Now, AV, if I can get y'all are on the ball today. Now, if you would like to explore Deepa Iyer's work, this ecosystem model, in more depth, and I hope you do, this book, Social Change Now, and it was on this book that our short story this morning is based, is this year's common read as named by the UUA. We're going to be hosting a discussion of this book on February 1st after worship. Bring your own lunch. And we're hoping that this will be the first in a series of discussions of books and possibly other media to support our congregation, our community of communities, in exploring what it means to move intentionally out of a supremacist or hierarchical paradigm and into a more authentically multicultural paradigm. That was a lot of words. You don't have to take all of that in at once. There will be more coming up. But I hope you will consider joining us. Our discussion will focus on a set of 4 reflection questions, so you don't have to it's focused. And the first book is a very quick read, okay? So if that helps. Hope you will join us. Now that said, I want to pivot because in a few days, Leanne is going to be leaving on a 2-week trip to the occupied West Bank with a group of other UU religious professionals. And I asked Leanne if she would be willing to talk with all of us about this for a moment this morning, because I think it's part of what we're discussing. So, Leanne.
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay, there we go.
Okay. My understanding from what we've discussed is that this is not a service trip.
Correct. This is not a service trip. I will be traveling with Sabil, who is an interfaith Palestinian liberation group based out of Jerusalem, and we'll be doing witnessing, solidarity, education.
Okay. And is that the stated purpose of the trip, or is there more to it?
That is the stated purpose. We will be meeting with folks who are in community with Sabil, who is on the ground in the West Bank, and they live there, and their loved ones are there, and they have their own organizations and communities. So we'll be visiting and listening and connecting.
Thank you. And I know that's the purpose of the trip, but what is your purpose in going? What is it that makes you feel called to go on this journey?
So much, but I will narrow it to a strong desire to hear stories that I can bring back here and help us more deeply and more bravely engage with this issue because we have a long history of being very loud and brave about other issues of injustice. And as a denomination and a congregation, we've leaned a little more timid on this issue. And so I'm hoping that connections I can make and stories I can tell will help us dig a little bit deeper and become braver and louder about this issue.
Okay. How does this tie into how you understand yourself as a religious educator and the role that you understand yourself to be in? Is there a way that these roles tie in for this?
There is. I think it's interesting because in my personal approach to activism, I'm much more of the disruptor flavor, but that's tricky to do in a congregation and in a faith community and as a religious educator. And so in my professional role, I try to lean more into the storyteller and weaver roles. And I think that weaver role is going to become really strong in this particular case to help me make some personal connections, both with folks in the West Bank, but also with my fellow religious professionals who care deeply and will be traveling on this trip. There are about 15 of us. So helping to weave all of that together into something that we can use as a community to move forward feels really important.
Yeah. Thank you. And can we offer you a blessing?
Please.
For your trip?
Yes.
Leanne's going to be gone for 2 weeks. So we have done a lot of crowdsourcing today. Can we crowdsource a blessing? Leanne, we wish for you, we pray for you that you will keep safe, that you, and from zombies. Come here. That you will bring back wisdom, that you will share our love with all the people there, that you will be nourished and take care of yourself. That you will listen actively to all the voices that you encounter. That you will be an observer of truth in every meaning of the word. That you will spread hope, and hope will come to you. May you find the light within you burning brighter. We love you.
Thank you.
Travel well.
Thank you all.
Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.
As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. the kids in the streets with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Na 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 na. I've been a victim of selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize there are some with no home, not a nickel alone. Could it be really me pretending that they're not alone? A willow deeply scarred, somebody's broken heart, and a washed out dream. They follow the pattern of the wind, you see, 'cause they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. Na 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 na.
That was beautiful, Finnick. That was beautiful. Please rise in body or in spirit for our benediction and closing hymn. May we not be victims of a selfish kind of love. We end with words from Deepa Iyer, the same words we began with. I wonder if they taste differently now. Our belief in the promise of social change through connections with one another is why we keep trying after feeling disappointment, why we keep returning after grieving, why we keep fighting after resting. It's why we keep building after systems fail, why we keep on loving even when we are experiencing heartbreak. It is why we take actions that embody solidarity, resistance, and hope. It is why we infuse our efforts with joy, passion, affirmation, and healing. We intuitively know that something better is blooming, growing, emerging. And we want to be part of that momentum, that stream, that journey. Amen. Our closing hymn is "We Will Carry Each Other."